Rural Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
My Hometown is made possible by Herald Community Newspapers. For more local news, visit liherald.com. Got a story to tell? Call 516-569-4000.
WHPC.
And now we return to My Hometown.
We are back on My Hometown, and I'm your host, Nassau Community College student Joe Ritter. Our guests are Mr. Bob Hempel, teacher and advisor of Team Echo at Massapequa High School, and the student leaders of Team Echo itself, who today are Despina Giasmis, Vinny Pereira, Matt Pfeffer, Joe Parziali, and Ali Kanapsis. I said those names right? I was close enough? I get my name wrong all the time. I have to tell the normal host, Bill, all the time. So let me ask you guys questions. We have you all on the mic right now. What do you all take out of this? Like, if we can go like one by one, like what is like the biggest thing that like when you do this, like the team environment, like what is it that you really pulls you to do it, and what do you take out of it when you do it?
The most motivating aspect of the club as a whole is the overall impact as it affects the individuals in this community, like seeing how important it is to address these environmental issues, and being a personal like advocate for the environment in myself. I know that having joined Team Echo has impacted me in a way where it sort of emphasized like the importance of what we're dealing with.
All right. Do you want to go down the list a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Joining this club, like you're working with all these people, you learn how to work as a team, and as you're working as a team, it really helps you get your point across more as an individual. As a team, you guys collaborate with ideas, and you get more ideas, you can get the ideas flowing, and it really helps. Like, when you're by yourself, you're not going to get the ideas that you get with everybody else. So, we really just feed off of each other as a team.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add real quick? No, these guys look silent in the back of the room. So, Despina, you had a lot to say, so we'll go to you real quick. So, how did you become involved? What were your interests, and what's your like role in the team, would you say?
I became involved in Team Echo because the teacher advisor of the club was my AP literature teacher, and I guess like along with like the work we were doing in class, and a lot of it was based off of the environment, and I saw that he saw how I sort of reacted to some of the articles, and he held me after class one day and he told me about his club. And when I attended the meeting, I saw that like everything that they were addressing in this meeting had to do with like, of course, the evolution of the club as a whole, and how we've graduated from only addressing issues with toxicity in the atmosphere to addressing now water, soil, things, and how the importance of this is that it affects like all of us, but more importantly, the younger generations, because there's so many children that are being like born with cancer and so many other illnesses, and there's a direct correlation to that and how it has to do with toxicity in our environment. My interests in the club would have to be definitely emphasizing how important our actions are, and how what we do, and not just as individuals, but as an entire community or multiple communities wherever we live, our actions are reflected upon in our environment and the inhabitants, maybe either nature or anything like that. It all has to do with what we do. And
okay. I was going to ask what's your role. No, that's what I was going to.
My role in the club is Allie and I work diligently to sort of set the agenda, what meetings, what cleanups, anything, park, tree plantings, things like that. We come together and sort of like think out how we can get more people involved, how we can get our point across, how we can advocate for the issues that are so prominent in our society, in our environment as well, and how we can, put our ideas together.
So you and Allie are like the captains of the team, right? Would you be like, you're like Derek Jeter, kind of like you guys are like the captains, the leaders?
Sure.
A little bit. It's a team effort, though, in the end of the day, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's all for one for all.
Every voice counts.
All right, but you also talked a little bit about kids with cancer, and I understand that you and some of your colleagues, you all visited Winthrop Cancer Center for Kids. What was that experience like for you to visit?
Mr. Hempel set up, he got in contact with one of the women who worked over at the Cancer Center for Kids, and he set up for us to go over and to spend a couple of hours in the facility seeing the treatment rooms. And it was it was an enlightening experience, because as soon as we walked into the facility, what we saw was like the first thing that caught my eyes was these bunny prints on the floor. And she told us that, like, the kids, when they entered the facility, they were so happy and joyous, and they would just hop along the bunny prints right into the treatment room. And you think about it, and it's such a morbid and, like, lugubrious experience of a little child, like, going through something so harsh, but then they put such a positive spin on it because the doctors in there, they're all wearing, like, these colorful clothes, and they're all, like, joking around, and, like, it's the environment, the experience, you're changing it. It's all about perspective. The kid could think that they're entering this place to be treated for a deadly illness, or they could think that, yeah, this is a patch in the road, but I'm making the most of it.
Right, you're making them feel better. You're helping them at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, what about the rest of you guys, like Joe, Vinny, Matt, Al? You guys have anything you'd like to add to it real quick?
Well,
they're doing a little scramble for the mic here.
Well, when we went there, like Despina said, you saw the bunny prints on the ground. She was telling us how the kids follow them. And also, they brought us into the rooms. And the rooms all had a theme, superhero, princess, whatever. And it made the kids feel comfortable. And you think about it, these kids are going in for chemotherapy. They're going in for something that really they didn't choose. It's something that they're going through. And it makes them feel better. And it helps them out. And the kids also, they're not there overnight. They get their treatment, they go home. And I feel like that's a big thing because they get to spend that quality time with their family, not cooped up in a hospital bed, but they get to go home, eat with their family, and sleep in their own bed.
Right, okay. What about the rest of you guys?
I totally agree with that completely. It's very it's a very optimistic place. They're extremely helpful, and it's not like the typical hospital. Like, it's not like, it's very creative. They have, as Despina said, the bunny prints on the ground to make the kids feel like a very playful environment. So, like, they're excited to go, and they don't really, I guess, know like the truth behind like how bad it is. But like in the end, they're just there as like
right. It's like a beautiful innocence kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't know what's happening, but they are enjoying it.
Exactly.
But for us, we look at it like it's a bad thing, but for them, it's the greatest thing ever. They get they hang out with all these nice people in beautiful clothes and all these nice, optimistic people. What's not to like about that?
Exactly.
Right. For a kid, that must be perfect. Did you have something you wanted to say real quick?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's a noble cause because we establish a direct connection between environmental toxicity and childhood cancer. By seeing how so many individuals are affected by our actions, we can take steps to alter future decisions.
All right, now also, real quick, Despina and Al, I got something to ask you guys real quick. So you talked about Five Alive before. So can you tell us, our listeners, a little bit more about Five Alive and what it's about? When is it? Like, can you get involved with it a little bit? Like, you want to just share a little bit of details?
Yeah, totally. Five Alive, it's a concert that we're putting on at the school. Its focus is, it's basically a fundraiser for the Winthrop Cancer Center for Kids. And what we're doing is, it's Five Alive because it's on May 5th. You know, we're doing, it's a very, like, consistent thing that we're setting up with, we have musical groups coming, and we have composers and everything, and we have, like, the school band, and we also hosted, like, these student auditions, and we selected a couple of acts from the school to make it student-based. Well, our focus is sort of to, you know, we're raising money for cancer. We're going to show a video in, like, the beginning, some footage from, you know, the facility, things like that. We actually got, today, we got the handprints. The lady from the facility gave us the handprints from the kids that they dipped their hands in paint. And she sent us copies over so we would print them out, like, laminate them and paste them all over the door. So it's like, it's children. The whole place is going to be decorated and themed. Like,
it's very cool. Al, you have anything you want to add to that real quick?
Yeah, definitely. So all of our acts we selected because they were so talented, and we wanted to make it a really great night. And unlike other events, which we host at in the gymnasium, we're hosting our event in the auditorium. So we're really looking for a quality night with quality music. We're having raffles from the art department of environmentally based paintings and artwork to really incorporate the entire idea of ECHO and Winthrop Cancer Center for Kids kind of merging and forming this new bond in order to show people that we're really involved not only with the environment but with helping humans and children combat toxicity.
Now, Ali, I already asked you a question, but I'll ask Despina real quick. What's your favorite part about being on Team ECHO? What drives you, and what do you love about it?
Personally, want to be a pediatric oncologist, which is a doctor for childhood cancer. So when I heard about the club and how, it's dealing with all these environmental aspects and how it's trying to establish the correlation between childhood cancer and preventative measures that we can take, it was sort of like it was kind of like the club was basically made for me. It's everything that I wanted to do, everything that I could do. As high school students, we can't do much as individuals, but when we come together and we collaborate, we think about how our actions affect not only the people around us, but our environment, and how they can be catastrophic to future generations. So by being involved in this club, my favorite part would definitely have to be how we're sort of accentuating how important it is that we take notice to how our actions affect everyone around us.
Right. It's the team aspect, and it's the entire message that really drives you, what you're saying.
Absolutely.
It's the whole thing. What about anybody of the other guys? What drives you guys? What do you guys enjoy about being on the team?
Me personally, I just like to collaborate with the team. We have a lot of different opinions about what to do, and when we all come together, it really, we always come together and find something great, and usually it ends up going really, really well. All right. Now, I want to ask you guys real quick, though, what advice would you give to other students or schools looking to join you or joining something like you? What would you say to them? It seems like Allie wants this one.
I definitely say put your best foot forward and think about the decisions you're making, but don't be afraid to make mistakes in the process, because from those mistakes you definitely learn what works and what doesn't. And I've been in the club for 2 years, and we find that we can tell our student population about an event, and there's different ways that they really respond to it, whether it's posters in the hallway or trying to get them to come to Five Alive. We think of different ways, like advertisements on the announcements, like, hey, Five Alive's May 5th, come on down for a great night with music and friends. And I think that would be very good.
All right. Well, it's like the great Wayne Gretzky once said, like what you guys are going with, you'll miss every shot you don't take. And that's definitely what you guys are going for, which is very, very cool. And we'd like to thank our guest, Mr. Bob Hempel, and the senior team of Team Echo. Their website is mhsehco.org. You write to them, or rohempel at msd.k12.ny.us on the Massapequa High School website, or by phone at 631-380-5901 at Massapequa High School. Thank you, everybody, for listening so much. My name is Joseph Ritter, Nassau Community College student, for your time listening to My Hometown. We thank you for listening.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to whpc@ncc.edu. My Hometown is produced by Jim Green, executive producer. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.